Hi everyone. Today's objective is to add and subtract fractions and mixed numbers, but today we're going to look at 3 special cases. We already know that to add and subtract mixed numbers, we simply add and subtract the fractions, and then add and subtract the whole numbers. But sometimes it is not as easy as it sounds. Okay, the 3 special cases that we're going to look at are case 1, the case of the hidden fraction, case 2, the case of the bigger numerator, and case 3, the case of the missing fraction. Let's take a look. Okay, the case of the hidden fraction. We want to find the sum of 2 4/5 and 2 3/5. Just like normal, we're going to go ahead and add our fractions, and because they have a common denominator of 5, all we have to do is add the numerators. So 4 plus 3 is 7. We keep the denominator, which is 5, and we get 7/5. Then we're going to go ahead and add our whole numbers. 2 plus 2 gives us a whole number of 4. And our answer is 4 7/5. So that was easy, just like normal, but if you take a closer look at our answer, you'll notice that our fraction is an improper fraction because 7, the numerator, is larger than 5, the denominator. So we're going to go ahead and convert 7/5 to a mixed number. So 5 goes into 7 one whole time, and we have 2 left over, so 2/5. So now we have 4 wholes, but 7/5 is an improper fraction. We said it is equal to 1 2/5. So we're going to combine that with 1 2/5. And let's just add our whole numbers, 4 plus 1, and we get 5 2/5 as our final answer. So, to solve the case of the hidden fraction, add fractions and whole numbers as usual. But convert improper fractions to mixed numbers in your final answer. Okay. Case 2. Case 2, the case of the bigger numerator. We want to find the difference between 4 1/5 and 2 3/5. If we go to solve this problem like we normally would, we would have to subtract 1/5 minus 3/5. But when you look at that, I can't take away 3/5 from 1/5. I don't have enough. So the bigger numerator is in the second number, or the second mixed fraction in this case. Okay. Now a common mistake is to just subtract 3/5 minus 1/5 and get 2/5. But we need to make sure that we're taking away 3/5 from the entire original mixed number. One way to do this is to borrow or rename our fractions. So this is just like when we borrow in regular subtraction. When we don't have enough, we borrow from our neighbor. We're going to do basically the same thing. So our original fraction, our original mixed number is 4 1/5. So we're going to borrow from the whole number, which is 4, and we're going to borrow 1 and we're going to make it 3. So if we want to make a whole number written as a fraction, remember that a whole is written as any number over itself. For example, 2/2 is one whole, or 3/3, or 4/4, and so on. In this case, we want our denominator to be 5 because that's the denominator of the fraction that we have here. So to make a whole with a denominator of 5, we are going to write 5/5. And then the other part of our fraction that we have is 1/5. So this is equivalent to our original mixed number. 3 plus 1 is 4 and 1/5. But we're going to combine our fractions to make 3 and 6/5. Now notice this is an improper fraction because we borrowed a whole, so it should be a fraction larger than 1. And we're going to rewrite it like that so we can now go ahead and subtract our original numbers. 2 and 3/5 is what we're subtracting. And now we can do what we always do. Subtract our fractions. 6/5 minus 3/5 is 3/5. And 3 minus 2 is 1. That's our final answer. Our second method is to rewrite our mixed numbers as improper fractions. Because we have common denominators, we can go ahead and change these to improper fractions immediately. So multiply 5 times 4, that's 20. Add the numerator, that's 21 over 5. 2 and 3/5. Multiply 5 times 2, that's 10, plus 3, that's 13 over 5. Remember, a bigger number has to come first. Don't change the order. So we get 21/5 minus 13/5. Subtract the numerators, and we get 8/5. Notice that our answer is an improper fraction, so we're going to convert it to a mixed number. 5 goes into 8 one time, with 3/5 left over. So we have the same answer, but two different methods. So to solve the case of the bigger numerator, either borrow from the whole number or use improper fractions. And remember, through all of this, you need to make sure that you have a common denominator before you do anything. Okay, case 3, the case of the missing fraction. So if you take a look at our example, it says 4 minus 2 and 1/4. Now normally our first step would be to subtract the fractions, but you'll notice I don't have a fraction in my first number. Okay, so the first method I could use is again renaming or borrowing, just like we did in the previous example. So 4 is going to be rewritten as 3, borrow one from the whole number, and I need a fraction with a common denominator, so the denominator here is 4. So again, if I want to make a whole, I'm going to put 4 over 4. So 3 and 4/4, remember, is equivalent to 4 because this is 3 plus 1. So now I can rewrite my number sentence as 3 and 4/4 minus 2 and 1/4. Now I can go ahead and subtract 4/4 minus 1/4, which is 3/4, and 3 minus 2, which is 1. My final answer is 1 and 3/4. The second method is improper fractions. Now, the number 4, remember, can be written as 4 over 1. So, I have a denominator again of 4 over here, so I would like my fraction to have a denominator of 4. So to make this an improper fraction, I'm going to multiply the numerator and the denominator by 4. And I get 16/4. Notice 16 divided by 4 is 4, so we know it's equivalent to our original number. We also need to convert 2 and 1/4 to an improper fraction. So multiply 4 times 2, which is 8, plus the numerator, which gives us 9 over 4. Again, let's subtract 16/4 minus 9/4, and we get 7/4. which now needs to be converted back to a mixed number. 4 goes into 7 one time, with 3/4 left over. Again, same answer, just a different method. So to solve the case of the missing fraction, again, we're either borrow from the whole number or convert to improper fractions. Okay, now go ahead and try some examples on your own.